Imagine it's a normal weekday morning. Your alarm rings, you grab your phone, notifications look normal, your bank balance hasn't changed, everything appears stable. But when you step outside, something feels off. The coffee shop on the corner has erased yesterday's prices. The new number is 3 times higher. You joke about inflation, swipe your card, and it's declined. Not because you're broke, but because the bank has temporarily limited transactions. That moment, that tight feeling in your chest, that's what an economic shift feels like before it's announced. For decades, we've been told the global economy is resilient, that recessions are temporary, that central banks are in control, that growth is inevitable. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Economic systems don't collapse loudly. They collapse quietly, then suddenly. For the last 80 years, we lived inside a financial fairy tale powered by cheap money, cheap labor, cheap energy, and blind trust. Governments borrowed endlessly. Corporations chased efficiency at any cost. Consumers were encouraged to spend tomorrow's money today. And it worked, until the math stopped working. Tonight on Pulsecast USA, we're not chasing headlines. We're dissecting the system itself. The global economy isn't facing one crisis. It's facing 7 structural failures happening at the same time. Debt that can never be repaid, populations that are shrinking, supply chains that are breaking, energy that's becoming scarce, artificial intelligence replacing white-collar work, asset bubbles losing support, and finally, trust evaporating. This isn't fear. This isn't politics. This is arithmetic meeting reality. I'm Alina, and this is the story of how the global economy quietly began to collapse. For most people, debt is personal, a mortgage, a car loan, a credit card balance. But global debt? That's something abstract until it isn't. Today, total global debt has exceeded $315 trillion. Governments, corporations, households, all stacked together in a financial tower that keeps growing because it must keep growing. For years, this didn't seem dangerous. Why? Because interest rates were near zero. Money was essentially free. Governments borrowed without consequence. Corporations loaded up on cheap loans. Asset prices soared. Then, inflation arrived. Central banks were forced to raise rates, and suddenly the system realized it had a problem it couldn't refinance away. Here's the part no politician wants to say out loud. The global economy is borrowing money to pay interest on money it already borrowed. That's not sustainability. That's a feedback loop. In the United States alone, interest payments now exceed military spending. Entire budgets are being consumed by the cost of past decisions. And when debt reaches this scale, repayment becomes irrelevant. Confidence becomes everything. This is where Minsky moments happen. Investors suddenly realize the borrower will never pay back the principal. Credit freezes, asset values collapse, and the only response governments have left is printing more money, which devalues currency and accelerates inflation. Debt doesn't disappear, it transfers. From balance sheets to living standards. Every bailout, every stimulus, every emergency measure pushes the cost forward onto purchasing power, savings, and social stability. The debt bomb doesn't explode all at once. It leaks slowly into everything you buy. An economy isn't powered by money. It's powered by people. Workers produce, consumers spend, families create demand for housing, food, education, healthcare. When populations grow, economies grow. But something unprecedented is happening. Across the developed world, people stopped having children, not suddenly, but steadily. Fertility rates in countries like South Korea, Japan, Italy, and Germany have fallen far below replacement levels. China, once the engine of global labor, is now shrinking faster than any society in modern history. This isn't a temporary dip, it's mathematical decline. Pension systems were designed on a simple assumption: many workers would support a few retirees. That ratio is collapsing. Entire social safety nets are becoming impossible to fund, and this creates cascading effects. Labor shortages push wages higher. Higher wages increase prices. Older populations sell assets instead of buying. Housing demand weakens. Growth stalls. The global economy was built on expanding consumption, but older societies don't consume like young ones. They save, they downsize, they spend on healthcare, not innovation. This demographic winter doesn't create panic, it creates stagnation. And stagnation is deadly for debt-based systems that require growth to survive. You can't print people, you can't automate consumption, and no amount of policy can reverse biology overnight. Demographics don't negotiate. For decades, globalization made life cheaper. Design in America, manufacture in Asia, ship everywhere. Politics didn't matter, efficiency did. That era is ending. Trade is no longer neutral. Supply chains are being weaponized. Sanctions, tariffs, wars, and political mistrust are fracturing the global economy into competing blocks. Efficiency is being replaced by resilience. Factories are reshoring. Companies are duplicating supply chains. Governments are prioritizing security over cost. And resilience is expensive. Cheap goods disappear. Inflation becomes permanent. What once took one optimized global system now requires 5 fragmented ones. That cost shows up at checkout counters everywhere. Globalization lowered prices by exploiting labor and energy arbitrage. Deglobalization reverses that structurally. This isn't a cycle, it's a reset. Energy is the invisible foundation of civilization. Every calorie you eat, every mile you travel, every digital transaction, all of it requires energy. For a century, that energy was cheap, dense, and reliable. Now we're dismantling it faster than we can replace it. Renewable energy is essential, but it's not frictionless. Wind and solar require massive amounts of minerals: copper, lithium, cobalt, rare earths. Mining them takes decades. Demand is exploding now. The result is higher energy costs everywhere. Energy inflation feeds directly into food prices, manufacturing costs, transportation, and housing. When energy becomes expensive, everything becomes expensive. We're entering an energy gap, a period where old systems are gone and new ones aren't ready. And economies don't grow in energy scarcity, they shrink. AI isn't replacing muscle, it's replacing cognition. For the first time, technology isn't assisting workers, it's competing with them. Junior roles are disappearing, entire career ladders are collapsing. One AI system can now do the work of dozens of entry-level employees. Productivity rises, but wages vanish. And when incomes vanish, consumption collapses. An economy where machines produce and humans don't earn is not stable, it's fragile. AI concentrates wealth upward, labor becomes optional, tax bases erode, governments lose revenue while obligations explode. This isn't a future problem, it's happening now. Commercial real estate is quietly imploding. Office buildings sit empty. Loans are expiring. Banks are exposed. At the same time, housing markets are frozen. Owners won't sell. Buyers can't afford rates. Entire generations are locked out of ownership. When people lose access to stability, trust erodes. Asset bubbles deflate slowly, then all at once. Money is belief, and belief is breaking. Trust in institutions is evaporating. When trust collapses, cooperation collapses. History shows what comes next. This is the most dangerous phase, not economic decline, but social fracture.